is Brittany Goodwin, and I'm here to talk to you about what George W. Bush calls the axis of evil. He talks about this in his State of the Union speech on January 29, 2002, which has arguably made him a questionable man when it comes to his credibility over what he claims about the countries in his list for the axis of evil. The axis of evil is a phrase Mr. Bush used many times to describe Iraq, Iran, North Korea, and Syria. They are said to be a threat to or support terrorism against America and its allies. George W. Bush said states like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil, arming to threaten the peace of the world by seeking weapons of mass destruction. These regimes pose a grave and growing danger. They could provide these arms to terrorists, giving them the means to match their hatred. They could attack our allies or attempt to blackmail the United States. In any of these cases, the price of indifference is catastrophic. North Korea. It is one of the worst of the three countries in this list. As you can see, I have a number of missile tests that they have done, all the way from 1984 to 2017. What's in blue is the success, and what's in red is the failure. It was proven by the United Nations that North Korea links with Syria's chemical weapons program by supplying them with the distribution of mass weapons for them to use on civilians. George Bush stated, North Korea is a regime arming with missiles and weapons of mass destruction while starving its citizens. Later that year, it was confirmed what Bush said, after North Korea admitted to conducting a nuclear weapons program after several years and withdrawing from an agreement with Clinton administration shortly after. Iran is the second of the countries that was put under this list, for good reason. The people from Iran wanted to be in the midst with America after some time. George Bush agreed and slowly was rebuilding connections with this country. When 9/11 hit, there was a setback between the mending of countries due to Bush pulling back some in fear that Iran was a part of the terrorism attack. He then continued to try and mend with Iran. There was nothing that the United States could do at the time to prevent Iran from going nuclear, since Bush ruled out bombing the country. As you can see in this picture, it's showing America with their many missiles and weapons, telling North Korea and Iran that their weapons of destruction are bad. Lastly, there is Iraq. This country is, in a sense, misguidedly put on this list due to it having chemical weapons before 1991 ending of the Iraq nuclear program. In 2002, the National Intelligence Estimate thought that they were now making biological weapons, but later found out that this program also ended in 1996. This didn't stop the United States from trying to find something, though. They later said that Iraq retained between 100 and 500 metric tons of chemical weapons, but again could not confirm the production was going on. Iraq is one country and the axis of evil that George Bush later admitted had no weapons of mass destruction, and also said that they were not part of 9/11 while he was in a meeting with a reporter. The axis of evil is correct, but not all the way. Iraq was falsely accused of being part of a mass weapon distribution within the countries. All statements and facts to try and support that it was a part are too weak or wrong to be considered. While there was proof that North Korea was distributing weapons to Syria to use on their civilians as tests, and Iran refused to help making weapons and backing out of agreements with Clinton. These are some of the reasons why on this graph that I have pulled up, Iraq, North Korea, and Iran are under 50% of most and least favored nations. It is believed that they will always be underneath that percentile because of their past and present choices. Thank you for watching my presentation.